It's been about 2 months since I left my 9 to 5. A little over 2 months. Making well over 200,000. Not well, just a tad bit over 200,000, which is a significant amount of money. And you have a guaranteed paycheck, bi-weekly paychecks, right? That's a lot of money. But at what cost, right? It took decades to get here. I am an older Gen Xer. I am 49, not 39, not 29, 49. And what I am seeing and what I thought was just related to age and burnout is not. It's actually of something very common that I'm seeing with millennials, Gen Zs. Let's put it this way, men younger than myself, or population, generally speaking, men and women, are quitting by the masses. You know, I can break this down further into other videos later on, but I've done this video. I started to do this right before I quit my 9 to 5. Why I'm leaving my corporate 9 to 5, and I'll put the link in the description. But I think it begs to dive deeper into it. But outside of the toxicity, toxic culture, not all, but some corporations, my health was just taking a toll. My mental health was just declining quick. This is not related to age either. It's been there. I've always had extreme anxiety when it came to working for corporate, even in my younger years, and just the type of pressure you feel, very suffocating. And sales can be a very funny business, if you know what I mean. So I worked in the banking industry for 20 years, and then I made a jump, well-deserved jump to the fintech space. And that was a career shift, a career move. And it was actually a very big moment for me at that time when I jumped into fintech. But, I quickly realized how the stress ages you, and the despair, the dread. Every Sundays you would just feel this despair, like just an extreme darkness. And in the pit of your stomach, you would feel the anxiety. And every Sunday was rinse, lather, repeat, because I was still answering emails and still jumping on to chat with my boss over the weekends. Because how do you complete your tasks in a workday? They dish out so much the work responsibilities. They underhire and they overwork you. They underhire and overwork you, and every year they either replace you or they fire, lay off someone else to bump up the profit margins, and you are just told to just do it, figure it out. Monday through Friday is the marching orders. They just dish out work after work. The load just gets bigger, and you have to find yourself scrambling over the weekends, if you get what I mean. Like you're constantly working. The grind never stops. And while the money is fantastic, but when do you enjoy the money? Don't get me wrong, I love the money. The bills are paid. I bought a nice car. I have money in the bank. But what was leaving me, what was fleeting, was my health. And so that it dawned on me that I'm having all this chest pains, this anxiety, there's so much pressure, and when you're a perfectionist, you need to get your job done because you care so much. But on the flip side, it took decades and decades and decades to realize that I'm giving my heart and soul away to a corporation and I'm working for them, which is okay. As a young man, it's okay. It's a way to go through, to make money. It's a way. It's not a wrong way. But you also got to realize that work is not family. And while they say work family, I hate the terminology now, because you're taken advantage of. And you sort of boxed in, and this, you kind of get in line, which is, it's not quite okay with me. It's okay, but then it's not okay. And when it's not okay, then you get a lot of money, which makes it okay, if that makes sense. So this is where you negotiate your salary. I hate to say it this way, but it's almost like, how much of yourself do you sell and give away and say, okay, for an extra 20,000, 30,000, when you jump jobs, right, you got a bump in your base because you're negotiating for a better pay. It's almost like, okay, you can buy me out. You can hold me captive for another 30,000. You get the point. It's like a buyout, right? And then you realize it's the same-ish, different company. Same-ish, different company. You ever wonder why management turns over so quick? In the corporate hierarchy, the higher you go, the higher the turnover. And just when you think you had it figured out, or that manager had it figured out, and you are following this line of fire or direction, then comes the next, sheriff in town, and then comes the next sheriff in town. They come in one door and out the other door, come in and then out the door, until they start pointing at you. You are the problem, and then they manage you out of the system, the machine. This has happened with me. I've been on the top, I've been in the middle, and I've been at the bottom. I've been at the bottom not because of my lack of ability, skill sets, or simply trying. If you've seen my videos on this channel, I put in work, and how I show up is very professional, especially at my job. I hit rock bottom systematically, meaning that the machine or the system is designed to just kind of take you rise to the top, and then you just sort of a steady decline, and then you just drop. And this is all about numbers, revenue, profits. It's insane that even when you're meeting your goals at 100% of your target, or a little over 100%, they still look for ways. This performance reviews, annual reviews, semi-annual review check-ins are just a disaster. Not everyone gets a 3. Meets. Not everyone gets hardly anyone gets a 2, which is like meets, exceeds. And if you get an exceeds, then you are well ingrained in the network, meaning that you have someone that's helping you through that machine, through the ladder. Like, people. It's just like, you leveraging your connections to get to where you want to. And there are only a few chosen ones that are lucky to have that umbrella, that olive branch, as they say. Most times, a lot of people don't have that internal favoritism. There we go. The politics. There we go. Corporate politics to get you where you need to go. It's only for the select few people. And I have found that if you do things the right way, the honest way, especially in the sales culture, relationship management, portfolio management, it doesn't bode too well. And I'm not saying being unethical, but banking has been in the news. If you've seen some of the big banks, without saying any names, I worked for pretty much all of them. And there's a reason why they were on the news, and they are on the news. Some of the malpractices I knew were happening back in the day, and surely enough, it's in the news, 3-4 years ago, and it's still, in the shadows. That they can't get out of the shadows. And there are other bankers, there are other financial services professionals like me that have felt the wrath of the system. And what's also crazy is that I have seen my peers age so fast, so quickly. Like, they're still there, which is okay, no judgment. They're collecting their paychecks, great. But they've just completely let go of their body. The face is just sullen, right? The age is showing. One, because when you are under that much stress and the machine has you churning, you don't realize how much stress you endure. Not just 1 year. You do this every day, 365 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Before you're 25, then you're 30, then you're 35, then you're 40, 45, 50. And then what? They spit you out till the next one comes in. You die. You have health problems, the next one comes. The next person, you're replaceable. I think we know that, but it's as cliche as it sounds, we're replaceable. I planned for this exit. I did plan for this exit. And the news is that I'm interviewing again. There's some really good, not saying there's some opportunities out there. And this is my 3rd month out of a 9-to-5, but I'm getting interviews. Now I'm doing a better job of interviewing both ways. Like, they interview me, when they give me the stage to ask questions, I hit them with my questions as well. No mercy. You have to be rude, but there's a way to articulate it and just, the politics has to be played both ways. And maybe I was just too much of a nice guy. I wasn't really playing those games as much as maybe I should have. So in my negotiations going forward, I am drawing the line in terms of, the must-haves and the nice-to-haves, and my own personal space, and the travel and the amount of time I put in, as well as the position. So I never say never to the corporate world, but I'm just saying this is a nice break, and I feel very rested. When I quit, I went into a major withdrawal. And I felt really guilty, is because this is what I had known all my life, my entire life. And this is the first time in my life ever that I've actually taken a break from the work life, the rat race. Can I imagine myself going back to work? Yeah, I can. I have it in me. Like, at the core of me, I'm a nerd. Like, I do love studying. As awkward as that sounds, I love to figure out and problem solve. I love a little bit of technology. I love a little bit of equation and the finance piece, right? The banking, the credit skills, right? I do enjoy some of this. I love how consumers leverage technology to move money and how they behave. I love this stuff. But what I don't love is the politics behind it when you start making that kind of money, the way they start driving you out of the business. Somehow it's your fault. It's like you against an entire corporate machine. You're never gonna win. You might as well bow out gracefully and just give you 2-week notice, which is what I did. Like I said, I planned this. I knew this was coming, so I paid off all my debts. I have 0 debt. The only thing I have is rent payment. And I've been very transparent in my other videos. I'm good for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I have faith that what I'm doing here, will take off. Although that's not the goal, because I'm doing other things too. I do a faceless channel. And then I'm also into acting. Former musician, music videos, artist, actor. Life behind the reels is all about being the best version of yourself while I train for my gigs and show up the way I do. and I've just made it a lifestyle. So this is my 2-month update. Yeah, of course I'm scared. Scared in quotation marks. Of course I fear what if not. But then the community of YouTube is so powerful. I'm seeing more and more younger people like this in this situation doing videos like this, So that this has inspired me to just cut the camera tonight and just do a 9 to 5 update. I'm walking a lot more actually. My anxiety has reduced significantly. The sounds of IMs just bothering me at odd times of the night and day are no more. The fact that I don't have to answer any emails is amazing feeling. I have control of my life, at least for right now. I'm riding the ship until someone makes me a really superb offer that it's hard to refuse. I think I'm gonna go back. I'd like to think and believe that not every corporation and company is the same, which is why the person that interviewed me on Friday or last Thursday and Friday, their title was People Corporate Culture, not HR Manager, People Corporate Culture. And that attracted me because that person, I won't say he or she because I'm going to give away too much info, but the way I give it away, the way she asked questions led me to believe that they were really big on culture. So it's always worth rolling the dice. I'm not super old and I have a lot of energy and I could go back, but in the meantime, I'm not in a hurry. And if this whole YouTube and acting life, the gig economy, just in general, the talent, the entertainment space, social media, right, content creation takes off, I have given myself more than a winning shot and chance to make this work. So I've rolled the dice, I've taken the chance, and it's not that bad. You must prepare for it, I would say. Give yourself at least 6 months. Do what you need to do. Go where you need to go. Tap into whatever funds you need to tap into to make this work. Because ultimately, what good is all that money, right, that you have sitting there when your health is declining and one day you just don't wake up? It's happened. So if you like this kind of slow tempo life, slow style talking, just candid conversations, and if you like my walking videos and my talks about intermittent fasting, diet, nutrition, sunlight, I'm gonna be mixing things up. I was just thinking to just stick to intermittent fasting, but it's just no fun. All you talk about is fasting. That's the only thing you can talk about. So I'm no longer worried about the niche and who my target audience is, because really everyone can be your audience, man. Like, there's no limitations. The algorithm is so random, it can find anyone, any place, anytime with any video. That's what's happening on my homepage. So if you're here, welcome. I go by Jazz Dance as the artist. My real name is Ranil, last name is Ram. And Life Behind the Reels, as I told you what this stands for. I am pretty versatile in what I do and how I show up. I'm not for everybody, but if you feel that you can connect with the vibe and you like the energy and the sincerity, genuine, the messages, and it's coming right from my heart, then welcome to the page. And I really do sincerely appreciate you here, and whatever you are going through in your personal life. And I know there's a lot of you folks out there like myself enduring the corporate stress. I wish it upon no one. Exit as soon as you can. Take a chance on yourself, roll the dice, take a chance on your health, because the corporation won't. You will. Until the next one, Mamba out.